Hi, this is my self-aligning Boggle board. The problem was, how do you make a Boggle board where the letters are always upright? In a normal Boggle board, the letters are just cubes, and they obviously land at random angles. My first idea for this problem was to make underneath each cube a little thing that could grab the cube, and they'd all be geared together, and then once you'd shaken the cubes, you'd pull a cord which would make all the gears rotate, which would turn all the letters into the right orientation. And I made a prototype of this, but it was too complicated and it wasn't going to work. And then I realized you're shaking the cubes anyway to randomize them. Why not make the shaking action orient the cubes? So that's what I did. So you can see that the cubes have this weird shape that's like a circle across 3 of the corners and only pointed on 1 corner. And that's the same from every orientation. So you can see this is where the sharp corner is on that letter. This is where it is on that letter. This is where it is on that letter. And so on. So it's still a cube-like geometry, except it can only fit in the pocket in one orientation. And the pocket has a ramp around the edge so that the cube is always encouraged to fall downhill by gravity. To give the cubes a bit more weight, each one has a 12mm long by 12mm diameter steel rod inside. And I'm not really very proud of my paint job on these. It does do the job of making the letters easier to see. But if you had a multi-material machine, you could obviously do a much better job. I put magnets in the edges of the case, and there are some matching ones in the lid so that they'll snap together. But these are just way too strong. And I would say if you're going to make one of these, just do it without the magnets, because it worked fine before I put the magnets in. Okay, the lid has this mesh pattern on it, and the idea behind that is that it allows you to see when the cubes are all seated in their pockets without making it absolutely trivial to read the letters. You still can read the letters through the mesh. The mesh is made, it's printed in this part, the lid part is printed in this orientation, and the mesh is made by putting stretching a modifier cube so that it only covers the thickness of the mesh, or a bit more, and setting 0 top layers and 0 bottom layers so that the infill pattern is exposed. And I think it gives a really cool effect. The mesh is kind of springy, which is quite a satisfying feeling. I think the mesh works really well. This model is available on printables.com if you want to print it yourself. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.